voicemails. You know, I played the voicemails to the police. They didn't take that as evidence. All they said was, you need to get yourself a nice boyfriend.
He said that he was going to ruin her life, he was going to beat her up, he was going to throw acid in her face. Having shown that to the police, they said, well, there's nothing we can do about that.
This film is all about the struggle some women face to be taken seriously by the police when it comes to stalking.
I realised that the police, they just didn't take it seriously. They weren't monitoring the escalation in his behaviour because it went from lots of calls, text messages, emails, etc., Facebook, WhatsApp. And then he was leaving me voicemails saying 1 minute that he loved me, then the next minute he was pretending to kill himself.
After 6 months of constant stalking and unhappy with how the police treated her complaint, Zoe decided to meet up with her ex to try and reason with him. After a long chat, she allowed him to stay at hers but on the sofa. Unfortunately, that's when things took a turn for the worse.
I came up to bed and, you know, I went to sleep pretty much straight away, you know, like I was in bed. And then I was on this side of the bed and he literally kicked me and I flew over to the other side of the room. And then when I came round, I was slumped over this side of the bed here and he was over here chopping his wrists with a meat cleaver.
God. What were you thinking at that point? Like,
I need to stay alive.
Zoe was stabbed in the neck, had a bleed on the brain, a broken nose, lacerations on the chin and torso, severed tendons in her hand and a broken arm. People who have suffered repeated stalking or harassment are frequently being let down by under-recording, inconsistent services and a lack of understanding from the criminal justice system. That's according to a report that was released in July. I met with Dr. Taylor Dunn, who interviewed victims of stalking and harassment in order to build up a picture of how the police were treating them.
There are some police officers who are doing their utmost. We have to remember that we're in a time of austerity, but I think that there is a general lack of understanding with police officers about what stalking and harassment are, the impact that it has and the risks associated with it.
She took him to a local bar where she could be around lots of people, and it was then on Valentine's night, February the 14th, that she said, look, I don't want to be with you anymore. He threw a glass of water in her face. She went to a car, he followed her, jumped in the passenger side. Her handbag was in the footwell, so he stole her bank card and then went across and emptied her bank account. She rang the police and she told them all about what happened the previous night. And all the information around their relationship, and the police, actually, they weren't told the right information from when the call came through as to what it was all about. So rather than concentrating on domestic abuse issue and a stalking issue, they actually concentrated on the theft of the card.
3 days later, Holly was stabbed to death by her ex-boyfriend while she was at work. Nick has developed an app which he hopes will help women feel more protected and safer.
Okay, so once you've downloaded the app and you've registered your details, then all you do is you start to activate the app. So to do that, I'd click on the app and now that's running in the background and it's starting to track me GPS, so it knows where I am. So when we're walking along, it would track me as to where I'm going. If I felt that uncomfortable or a situation that I really wanted to send the alert, all I do is shake the phone. And by shaking the phone, it sends that alert to the email address and the telephone number that you previously put in your registered details. And then they can pick that alert up then.
That's brilliant.
I've now gone into the email and it tells me now where I am.
Wow.
And it says, do you want to have a look at the evidence? So I can click on here and I can actually see the video that was being shot at the time.
Oh my God, that's amazing. And it's so clear.
Yeah.
The quality is great.
Yeah, and it's obviously got sound as well, so we can hear what's going on.
You're basically helping the police so much with that.
Yeah, the location, everything's there.
It's CCTV, isn't it, on your phone?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And it's recorded, so
That's
there
amazing.
for future evidence.
Since the report, a number of recommendations have been made, including making the definition of stalking clearer and issuing prevention orders which put restrictions on suspected stalkers.